making this video to save girls or guys a lot of trouble through a lesson that I had to learn. And I'm going to say this first and foremost, like everybody else says in their videos, I am not a cosmetologist. As you can tell by my story that's coming up, I'm not a cosmetologist. So I'm not a professional. I do everything on my own. I've been doing it on my own since I was 17 years old. I'm 32 years old right now. So just want to get that straight. I've never been to a salon, so before anybody asks me or tells me or yells at me and says to go to a salon to have their hair colored, I've only been to a salon once to get my hair colored professionally, and it was a disaster. I have very, very thick, coarse hair. It's like horse hair. That's what my mother calls it. She calls it horse hair. It's very, very thick. And I have to pretty much go to a salon once a month, and they have to thin it out because it's just ridiculous. So I don't go to the salons to have my hair colored, but I do go to the salons to have my hair styled and cut and thinned out. So, okay, basically, as it says in the title of this video, I made a huge hair mistake. I've been dyeing my hair black since I was about 16 or 17 years old. I have naturally auburn hair. It's kind of like a reddish brown. My hair was down to my waist when I was 17 years old, and I would always dye it black because back when I was a teenager, I was going through that, grunge goth phase. I really was just wanting to do all that, so I really wanted to have long black hair. When I got a little bit older, I turned about 18, 19 years old, I ended up cutting my hair up to like here myself, but it was still black, so I continually kept dyeing my hair black. When I turned 20, I ended up getting a pixie cut, and I chopped off all my hair, and my hair was back to my natural hair color again. It was like a reddish, like I said, auburn. I let it grow out, and in that time from 20 to 22, I was pretty much going from pixie back to this short, and then back to pixie again, and then I was constantly dyeing my hair. From 20 years old to 22, I was pretty much dyeing my hair, I'd say about every 2 or 3 months. It was really, really bad. I was going from platinum blonde, back to black, back to blonde, to red, to purple, to blue. I was doing all these really weird colors to it and everything. And I would just chop my hair back off again, start all over again. But when I hit about 22 years old, not 22, when I was about 25, I think I was about 25, 26 years old, I stopped coloring my hair extreme colors, and I took a break for a while, and I just kept it black. Again, I went back to black again. Then when I hit about 26, I ended up dyeing my hair back to fire red. It was like a crayon red with splat. I didn't like that. That didn't last very long. I liked it in the beginning, but then after a while, it was draining in the shower a lot, and it became like really, really hard to take care of. So then, you guessed it, I went back to black. So everybody thinks that black hair, because I've been dyeing for so long, was my natural hair color. All of my friends thought my natural hair color was black. Even my best friend that I went to junior high with, we've been friends since we were in junior high, she thought my hair was black. Now, my hair was auburn when we were in junior high, but she doesn't remember that because it's always been black. Well, another reason why I always dyed my hair black is because I hated my red hair. I couldn't stand it. I hated my auburn hair. I didn't like it at all. I always felt dorky with it. I always felt like out of place. I always just felt weird. I hated it. I hated every single aspect of my natural hair color. I couldn't stand it. And then as I got older, and I started going through changes in my life and I started growing up, I started to realize that, I started to kind of realize I was hiding behind this black hair dye, and that I was, living in the past, and that I was clinging on to old things that had no relevance in my life right now. When I hit 31, the winter of 31, okay, hold on, let me think. I think it was winter of 31. Let me think. No, it was winter of 32. I was turning 32 that April this year. I had this really, really strong epiphany of dyeing my hair back to its natural state. Natural. As close as I could get it to natural. And I had had black hair up to this point for probably 5 or 6 years. It was just black. I never changed anything else. It was black. So in January of 2019, around that time, I ended up dyeing my hair back to... I just lied. No, I didn't. Did I? I did. In January of 2009, it was like... I don't think it was January. It was like spring. I think it was spring of 2019. I ended up dyeing my hair to red. And it was natural. It was kind of like a dark red. It was a little bit darker than this. Actually, a lot darker than this. And it lasted for about a month. I'd say probably about a month and a half. I started having anxiety attacks. I started flipping out. I started getting really upset. I started to kind of just like, I hated it. I hated it so much. It was just, I hated myself when I looked in the mirror. So guess what? Dyed it back to black. It wasn't until the end of this year. It wasn't until the end of 2019. It was around, I want to say September. I think it was September. It was the middle of September. I finally dyed my hair red. And that was it. And that was the time that I knew in my heart and in my spirit I wanted to do it. It was just what I wanted to do. And it made me feel, it gave me more of an identity. And that's what came about. I finally was trying to shed this whole black hair dye thing, to let it go, to move on, and to really accept myself and to stop hiding behind it. And to really go through the phases of why are you being like this? Like, what is your problem? And once I finally did it, I had the hugest response of support and love and so much positive feedback. People were saying I look beautiful. I don't look beautiful right now because I look like crap, but they were saying that I look beautiful. You look like a model. They're like, you're so pretty, though. I'm totally not trying to gloat. I'm not being like, no, I'm just what they said. Positive response. I started getting a positive response back, and it made me feel so much better. I was like, okay, you know what? Now I feel good. And it gave me more confidence. And then the red hair started to give me more confidence because it started to make an identity for me. And I started like having all these really cool things happen. And I was like, you know what? And then that's when I finally started to be happy about my hair color. Until October of 2019. I have no idea what happened. One day, I just woke up. It was a regular day. And I ended up getting a paycheck. I had this overabundant feeling of impulsiveness come over me. And I was like, I'm going to go to the salon. I'm going to get my hair cut. And I'm going to dye back to black. Kid you not, I went to the salon. Or I went to the store. Bought 2 boxes of black hair dye. Went to the salon the next day. My hair was down to here at this point. It was a little bit, probably like a little bit above my collarbone, like right there. I went to the salon the next day. Chopped all my hair off. To about, it's only grown about a few inches, so pretty much like right here. And then I dyed it black. I can't even describe the feeling of defeat that I had in myself. I can't describe the regret and disappointment that I had in myself. Not only was it just that, but I realized I had come all that way. Months and months of doing this and keeping my hair healthy and growing it out and just being red and pretty all summer long and etc. And I had just, in one day, destroyed all of that. Now, let me remind you, this is just like a little PSA for everybody. I do have PMDD. PMDD is, if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's the worst form of pretty much premenstrual symptom that a woman can have. It comes with impulsiveness. Your brain doesn't act right that time of month, and it's just like the worst thing to have. And I didn't know that I had this at that time, so I impulsively went with these feelings and made the worst mistake ever. A few days after the fact, I was crying. I was upset. I couldn't control my thoughts. I was completely just like erratic. So I thought in my head, I'll fix it. My hair's thick. Within a 24 to 48 hour span, I stripped my hair, I bleached it, and dyed it back to black. Or not to black, not to black, red. My hair was fried. My hair was completely fried. It was like the death of my hair. Like it was done. My hair was now short. And when your hair is short and you fry your hair, it's very, very obvious because you can't, the volume will get bigger, the cuticles will, you have the wave effect, your hair looks like wet ramen noodles when you take a shower. And it dries, it's all wacky and out of shape. You can't do anything. It doesn't look cute when it's long and it looks wavy and pretty. It doesn't look like that. Like you look like basically like you're wearing a helmet, and it's like you look like a clown. My hair was destroyed. The color not only did not come out correct, the color was completely wrong. There was blotchiness in my hair. It was completely like, pretty much like it is right now. I mean, it's faded because I ended up freshening up my red about a month ago, but it's faded now. So, but when I had colored it this time, when I did it, it was so damaged at that time that my hair, it could not get, it was like hair color, blonde, and it was horrible. It was horrible. I was so damn depressed. I didn't know what to do. And that's when I learned my lesson right there. Right then and there, in October 2019, I learned the biggest lesson I could possibly learn. It's all about, to me, it's all going back. One thing, the lesson is, if you have dark hair right now, this is topical. If you have dark hair right now, like a dark chocolate brown or black, and you think that it's easy just to go from one spectrum to the next, especially if you have short hair like me, it is not, and your probably chances are going to fry your hair. It's going to destroy it. My best advice that I can give you, and what everybody tried telling me and I didn't follow, is to wait until the hair fades. Wait until the black or the brown fades, until it's like, it looks crappy and it's just like, it's not even hardly there anymore, and it's like really faded and it's been like weeks and weeks and weeks, maybe a month or two. Then possibly go in and try to remove it, strip it, and then do all your stuff. Do not do what I do and wait 24 to 48 hours and do all of that in 2 days. Your hair is going to be toasted. If you're literally going from one color spectrum to the next, it don't work. It does not work at all, period. Be prepared to go to the salon and get your hair chopped off, and be prepared to probably lose your hair for a very long time. You're going to start to have breakage. It's going to shed, and if you try to take a shower and you think you're just going to get out and go someplace, it's not going to happen, because one, it's not going to dry anymore. It's going to take probably a day for it to dry. Your hair's going to look like wet ramen noodles. It's going to be completely like jaggedy, and it's going to be like swirly, and it's going to be knotted up at the top. You're not going to be able to do anything with it. Be prepared to waste so much money on hair products. I'm talking hair masks, hair conditioners, hair serums, throwing the kitchen at your hair. Be prepared to be working on it. Probably once a week you're going to be doing this stuff. Be prepared to spend lots of money going to the hair salon, because they're going to have to keep chopping off all the damage. They're going to have to keep thinning out your hair. And they're going to have to keep doing everything they can to it to keep it alive. You're basically going to be babying your hair for about 6 to 8 months. Sometimes longer than that. It depends on the consistency of your hair. Do not do what I did. That's just the topical point. The deeper part of this for me, my lesson that was learned, is one, patience. That you have to give something time in order for you to really love something. And when you love something, you don't just easily just like toss it aside and be like, okay, well, you know what, I can get it back. That's being ungrateful. To be more appreciative, and to give yourself some more respect, but most of it all is pretty much patience, and to not be so damn impulsive. And that it's like you can't move on in life. You can't move on if you don't expect change in your life. You can't move to the next chapter of your life or the next phase of your life if you don't accept change. If you don't even try to accept change. I'm going to see what time it is real quick. I got to pick up my son from school. We're not going to let me know. We're good. You're never going to learn. You're never going to have anything. You're never going to have nothing. You're just basically just going to be stuck stuck in the state that you're in. And by constantly going back and back and back to that old life, or going back to those old patterns in life, you're never, never going to know what's next. Because you constantly keep running back to your old ways. With me, it was mostly, the other reason why I was constantly dyeing my hair back to black, it was more or less a stress thing. When it was like a trauma thing. Like, whenever I would go through a really bad time in my life, anything really, whether it be emotional, or it be a relationship problem, or it be anything, I would always reach for the hair dye, and it would always be dark, black, always black. And instead of having patience with myself, instead of looking within, instead of slowing down, as my son told me this morning, slow down, mama. Instead of slowing down and really thinking and looking within, what's really going on with you right now? What's the problem right now? What is making you want to impulsively do something really damaging to yourself? Because it is damaging to me. It's my hair. Our hair is a part of our being. Our hair is a part of our body. So it's damaging. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting your hair. You're not only hurting your hair, you're hurting your emotions, and you're hurting your heart. What is making you do these things? What is making you impulsively switch that over to something that you know is going to hurt you more in the long run than it's going to actually help you? And that's what I wasn't doing. I wasn't really looking inside of myself. I wasn't stopping for a minute when I was upset or angry. I mean, like, okay, what's making me do this? Why are you doing this? This is impulsive. Now, whenever I get these feelings, first I always look at the calendar and see if it's that time of month and see if I have my PMDs going on. And the other part is, if it's not, what's going on? What's making me feel this way? What's really making you feel like depressed, and what's making you want to reach back and hurt yourself again and put yourself back 50 paces? And that was the big thing of it. So when somebody says to you, and this probably goes for mostly women, that your hair is really not a big deal. My mother always had this really saying, is that a woman's hair is her crown and glory. And it really is what makes us feel. It's what makes us feel confident. It's what makes us feel pretty. It's what makes us feel our identity in a way. I know that I do. And I know that I find my identity through my hair and things like that. Even my color, my hair color. Mostly with me, so obviously my hair color. And it's a big deal. So when you're sitting here damaging it, and you're doing all this weird stuff to it, and you're frying the hell out of it, and you're doing stuff to it, you're hurting yourself. And what is making you self-harm? What is those are the questions that I didn't ask myself. So anyways, topically, the point of this video is, do not color your hair from one extreme to the next within 24 to 48 hours. I promise you. You're going to fry the hell out of your hair. You're going to have to get a haircut. You're going to spend a boatload of money in hair products to repair it. And you're probably going to have a little bit of self-esteem issue, because you're going to be like, why did I do this? And you're going to continue to keep asking yourself that every single day, like I've been doing. But the one lesson that you're probably going to get out of it is patience. And you're going to have to learn about time. I mean, there's really nothing you can do after that point, is time and having patience with yourself and your hair. And, the one thing I want to say is this. I'm so glad I didn't do it. When I first did it, like 3 months ago, everybody that I can think of was telling me, oh my God, you're going to have to chop all your hair off. Oh my God. I was this close to doing it. I was like, oh my God, you're right. Not necessarily. You don't really have to chop all your hair off. There is going to be sections of it that you might have to go through and get it thinned. Like, if you have hair that's like down here, right? Okay. You have hair to spare. Like, you have hair to chop off, but you don't necessarily have to cut off your hair. There is products out there that you can use. There's stuff on Pinterest that you can look up, things that can help bring your hair back to life. In the past 3.5 months, I've been doing nothing to my hair, really. I've done nothing except hair treatment, hair mask, egg and olive oil treatments, coconut oil. Can't stress it enough. Overnight coconut oil treatments. I've been doing that. Have I had a lot of hair breakage? Right there, for example. Hell yeah. Look at that. It's burnt off, man. That's not coming back. This is burnt off. I mean, I don't know why I just said it's coming back. It's going to grow back. But it used to be like this big. Now it's like this big. But most of my hair is very healthy. It is getting healthier. I can feel it. But it's going to take a while. And it takes time. And patience. That's the one thing I can not stress enough to all the people that are going to watch this video and be like, I'm thinking about dyeing it back to this color. But I'm at this end, you know. And that's what I'm trying to say, you know. See that? That's damage. See all that right there? It's called damage. That's a bright piece right there. That piece just burnt right off. Okay, anyways, just want to make this video for anybody out there that's about ready to make the same mistake that I did 3 months ago. Don't do it. Peace out.